Well, it's no longer news that thousands of Ghanaians took to the streets sometime last week demanding that their government begin the immediate extradition of Nigerians living in that country.
Now, when you talk about the criminality of Nigeria, they will tell you, crime happens everywhere in the world. That is hasty generalization in order to exonerate criminality. Exonerate criminality and encourage it. Now, when you come to Igbo land, I'm an Igbo man, to say Igbos are the tribes with the most criminal tendencies. You now hear them say, even Yorubas are criminals, even the Hausas or the Fulanis are violent and all those things. Hasty generalization to exonerate criminality.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode. Guys, a lot is going on, oh, yes, and still on this issue. I think for today or for this week, let's keep our fingers crossed. This is one of the last videos I'm going to use in addressing this topic. So far, the reactions of Nigerians, yes, to Ghana, and as well the press speech or statement of the president of Ghana from one of my Ghanaian brother in Twi. So I've put these videos together, as well as my brother Chimdi, who has something to expose to us as well, right? So the other video, please, disclaimer, I don't really understand much, but from what I understand is the press statement of the president being read out to all Ghanaians, and what you think about the reactions of Ghanaians towards what the president has just read. You will hear everything in details, right? And the reactions, like I said, from Nigerians. I need you to pay attention because I don't want you to miss out on any points. But I will come back at the end of the day. Please pardon me, I might not talk too much because of my code, to give a point or two based on all these things. So let's watch these videos, and I will need you to do more of the talking today for me, right? And I will be right back.
From President Johndramanimahama, we know from presidency Ankasa. Statement from presidency. Mahama calms Nigerians' fears. No mass deportations. Storm in a teacup over viral video. Mampanyi Mahama a commission investigation into alleged issue of Ibokin in Ghana. Any the dangers are opposing. Now investigations in the national security for yebi. Ministry of Interior omokobi. Say ayenokre. Say ubi shishem fidye. To tonsa so Ghana ha all friend who Ibokin. Obeje Ibokin no obeje Ghana aboso oko presidency obehu Mampanyi Mahama ne Nigeria panyia Bola Tinubu soma no baye no eda presidency ho ye de samfonyi no bema mo na enra na statement ne betoja say after investigation no onfa ho report no nkobo Nigeria for say na mo nkrofo no mo ye memu ho no ana mo Nigeria for no Igbo for na omo aba Ghana no ye mfihwe mu chese say na omo ye nhwehwemu ni nyina chi no President Johndramanimahama has moved to calm fears among Nigerian nationals residing in Ghana and their government, assuring a special envoy dispatched by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that there will not be any mass deportation of Nigerians. During a courtesy call from Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, who is a Nigerian Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, President Mahama assured that Ghana has no intention of resorting to mass expulsion, emphasizing the shared history and interdependence of the two countries. He had reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to ECOWAS protocols, dismissing any anxieties in Nigeria over any potential mass deportation of its citizens from Ghana following the emergence of a viral video. Minister Odumegu Ojukwu conveyed anxieties of the Nigerian people and government, citing the viral video, widespread apprehension of mass deportation, and fears of shops belonging to Nigerians being burned down. The concerns, she noted, have led to emergency sessions in Nigeria's National Assembly and traditional rulers instructing relatives in Ghana to return home. President Mahama acknowledged the historical relations between Ghana and Nigeria, describing them as siblings of the same parents, and so our destinies are joined together. He invoked past unfortunate incidents of mass deportation in both countries, Ghana in the 1960s and Nigeria in the 80s, stating, I think that is part of our history. It's part of our past, and it's an unfortunate past that we want to put behind us. And I believe that none of our two countries should mass deport our citizens ever again. We are members of the ECOWAS, and we have the ECOWAS protocol that allows our citizens to travel freely between our countries. He also clarified that although there have been isolated incidents and some individuals involved in criminal activity, such cases are addressed through proper legal procedures, not through collective punishment or mass expulsion. He stated that foreign residents in Ghana who engage in criminal activity shall be held individually liable and sanctioned. President Mahama traced the recent tension to a resurfacing of a 2013 video featuring an, in quotes, Igbo king discussing land acquisition for a kingdom, which was widely misrepresented as a recent development. He dismissed this as a bit, in quote, a bit of a storm in a teacup. In the Nigerian delegation, that Ghanaian law governs the establishment of traditional councils, making such external claims impossible. Impossible. Pacho statement no. Moka say Igbo king asemi ba yet na haka say impossible because of Ghana Traditional Council. And he said the ashe say emra no. Meaning say mo manfo di atemo a. Me say Ghana asem ba nya abotrem mo 1 week. One e betima betina Ghana say oye Igbo king. Abufu asha manfo mu a nti obiti bibia ati say Kromfo Swami magazine. Yari na me ya adwuma Swami magazine 1999 2000. Obiti metina na shop sa. Sabe na krono koso ye nto ade. Ote Kromfo no asimbi. Obe dwane akobu bi. Sana Ghana phone bi aye frustration. Me say I said it here over a month ago. Say per our investigations, sa Igbo king asem no, it is not possible for anybody to say they are kings in Ghana. Where that me used to, you know, it is in the presidency statement. And me can't tell baby, me can the source of this Igbo king. Have you know me can the source of this Igbo king asem etrel. Say Nigerians are very ethnocentric.
Well, it's no longer news that thousands of Ghanaians took to the streets sometime last week demanding that their government begin the immediate extradition of Nigerians living in that country. The bone of contention, according to several placards caught on video being brandished by the protesters, included Nigerians becoming masterminds of kidnappings and ritual killing in Ghana, several other ways through which they have progressively become a rising nuisance to Ghanaian society, as well as appropriation of economic opportunities that should ordinarily be at the disposal of the country's citizens. The intervention from the Nigerian government was almost immediate after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu dispatched a high-power delegation to Accra led by Minister of State Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu to interface with the Ghanaian authorities and try to find a resolution. Last Friday, Ghanaian President John Mahama met with the Nigerian team and gave his commitment to protecting Nigerians going forward. Well, for greater introspection on this matter, we're now being joined from our Arise Abuja studio by Abike Dabiri Erewa, the chairperson of Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning. Nice to be with you this morning. Ojiana Deswa, good morning.
And Steve Ayorinde is here
good morning,
with us
Steve
as well.
Ayorinde is saying hi to you, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa.
Fantastic. Well,
how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us on the morning show. As you heard in my introduction, the incident that occurred sometime last week with Ghanaians asking for Nigerians to be expelled from Ghana. I mean, we know that the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ojukwu, has met with the Ghanaian officials and, of course, the President as well, President of Ghana, John Mahama. What is now the role of NITCOM in this specific diplomatic engagement? And how is the Commission collaborating with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for resolution on this matter?
Well, NITCOM is part of Foreign Affairs. NITCOM is a newest baby under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So, as you said in your report, just like many other situations, the ministry, in fact, the president immediately intervened, and we're glad that even before that there was calm in Ghana. And like I had said on several issues, the Senate intervened. We spoke with our people. The first thing was for me to call our people in Ghana. In fact, when I was calling them about what was going on, they were like, "Look, there's calm here." It's one person, one has an IRA or something, did that, incited people. And we told our brothers and sisters in Ghana, do not respond. By the time you are responding, you're making the situation worse. And I'm glad that Nigerians stayed calm, as we advised them. So we remained in touch with them. And the minister's intervention on the orders of Mr. President went very, very well. And, for a long time, we've been having skirmishes here and there, not anything really deep. But as you said in your intro, those accusations are actually not true. One person may do something wrong. But don't generalize and say the whole country. But even before the president's intervention through the minister, the Inspector General of Police in Ghana had actually called the guy for questioning and interviewed him based on things he had even been doing in the past. And we keep appealing to Nigerians, just remain calm no matter what happens. And we're glad that the Ghana thing, and I keep saying the Ghanaian government, or even the generality of Ghanaians, do not have that opinion or that vision about Nigerians in Ghana. So I'm glad they win the whole thing. But we keep monitoring the situation, and we go to Ghana from time to time, meet with our people. There's so much we're doing, and they are doing very, very well in Ghana. But at the same time, we appeal to Nigerians, as the president always appeals to them, anywhere you are in the world, obey the laws of that country. But we as a country will also ensure that you do not suffer for a crime you don't commit. So we're glad they win the whole thing, but I will keep monitoring the situation.
All right, thanks, Mrs. Dabiri-Erewa, for that introductory clarifications. But then it's also important to find out, I'm not sure if you were part of the delegation to Ghana, but of course I know that you are never far from Ghana and the Nigerian communities there. But then the allegations against our people were quite weighty. Armed robbery, violence, kidnapping, etc. I like the fact that you say that they're not true. And that Hassan Ayari, was called in by the Inspector General of Police in Ghana. But there was also another gentleman politician in Accra who also went on air, had an interview and made similar allegations, almost practically targeting a certain section of Nigeria, people from a certain section of Nigeria. You and I know, Mrs. Dabiri-Erewa, that this is not the first time that you'll be hearing things like that. My question to you is, are we distilling what the issues are and what the complaints tend to be, not just in Ghana, but in a few other places where people tend to think that maybe there is overdue from some of our brothers and sisters, who are in the diaspora, maybe in communities in Africa and elsewhere. What your people, my people will call Asheju. If that is the fact, what are we doing to speak truthfully to ourselves, just to ensure that a few people do not continue to give us a bad name abroad?
Well, thank you very much. If you followed, my job as as NITCOM, or even before NITCOM as SSA, every time, in fact, there was a time when we did something happened in the UAE, where 4 Nigerians actually went to rob a bank daytime. I came out, called out their names, and I was accused of, it's because they come from a certain tribe. And I said, no, crime does not have federal character. If you commit a crime, you are a Nigerian. It doesn't matter where you come from. However, you and I, we all have a role to play. And that's why we say it's about our attitude, our behavior. But however, look, a few Nigerians probably did one thing or the other. Punish them, penalize them, show them to the world. Let's know who they are. But it is not fair to just generalize as the Nigerians all over the world. Yes, look, in India, something happened in Nigeria, and we saw him. There's a video. There were issues with the resident status and all that, and the police went to raid them, and he came on the streets and said, I'm a Nigerian, I'm a vampire, I suck blood. And they, of course, and you're not calling us, see what they're doing to us. You can't be the aggressor and claim to be the victim. So we've handled that all the time. What I'm saying is that one person cannot commit a crime that you say everybody. Yes, there may be Asheju, as you said, and we know that happens a few times. But if one person does that, you can't judge a million people with that. So what we keep saying is that person, okay, Ghana accused them, or when you came, we're saying kidnapping has never happened before, armed robbery has never happened before. Arrest those people. Let us know them. And I've been saying that when people commit these crimes abroad, when they're coming back home, they must be interrogated by immigration. There have been cases where crimes were committed, they were sent back and they just walked away. So what we're saying is that no matter the circumstances, we cannot generalize. Even when you say one ethnic tribe, we cannot say everybody from that tribe. However, there are excesses on the part of some of our people, but one bad apple should not judge the whole bunch. The bad should not spoil the good, because the good are more than the bad. So in every country where that happens, discipline them. Let them pay the penalty. Let them face whatever consequences. And I think that should be the message in terms of that situation and any other situation that affects a Nigerian who has committed a crime anywhere in the world.
Thank you very much. Now, you've given us an example of someone saying, I'm a Nigerian, I'm a vampire, which is, as you said, ridiculous behavior. But I also wanted to ask you about the Kemi Badenoch, who is obviously a leader in the UK, the head of the Conservative Party, who says that she no longer identifies as a Nigerian. How difficult is it when trying to spread Nigeria's message in the diaspora, when individuals, even Kemi herself, say they might not identify as Nigerians? Do you think that she is a positive representation of what a Nigerian woman should be, particularly one who rises through the ranks?
I think you are giving her too much attention and too much credit. There are millions of Nigerians in the UK doing extremely well. So if she doesn't want to be a Nigerian, that is our problem. It's not an issue I even want to do. I've spoken about, I've called her out a few times and said, listen, if you're not proud of your Nigerianness, that is your problem. I don't think it's something, you should see what Nigerians in the UK themselves are saying. That, listen, you don't, that's a personal choice. And it doesn't reflect anything. In the same vein, we have the footballer, who is also British Nigerian. Sorry, her name escaped my mind. British Nigerian, who chose to play for Nigeria. So I don't think we should pay much attention to people. Pardon?
Ashley Plumtree, the footballer.
Yes. Look at her. We're proud of her. We're proud of many. We have mayors in the UK. In fact, Nigerians are winning more elections all over the world. Nigerian Americans, Nigerian British, Nigerian Canadian. So why pay attention on one person? That is what she wants to do. That's her personal decision. It doesn't reflect anything. And she has her own, some things may be wrong with her past or something. I don't know, but that is our personal decision. That is our personal choice. But it means nothing to me. And it should not mean anything to any one of us.
That have come out of that protest in Ghana. Now, we saw a display of placards with messages that, like Steve has highlighted, this specific ethnic group, which is the IGBO'S. We saw placards with inscriptions like, our children are going missing because of the IGBO'S. I'd like to know how your commission is actually addressing this specific ethnically charged narrative and ensuring that all Nigerians, regardless of their ethnicity, are protected. How also is NITCOM working with that Nigerian community? Because we know the individual that is involved with this conversation. How are you communicating with the community leaders to address the root cause of this sort of resentment? And there are also reports that the Nigerian Commission is not taking decisive action towards dealing with these individuals. I'd like to know how you respond to such criticism, Mrs.
Which
Abike.
Nigerian Commission?
NITCOM.
Nigerian High Commission.
Well, Nigerian High Commission. Nigerian High Commission in Ghana. No, Nigerian High Commission in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, in Ghana.
You see, again, we are generalizing. Don't forget that I've called people out. We have names, I read out the names, and I've said that these so-called Nigerians, let us know them. Let us know them. Let them be dealt with. They can't be anonymous. So it's the responsibility of the host country, which even the Inspector General of Police of Ghana said, look, I don't want to say one tribe. Let us know them. We are not going to go there and beg for them. Why you say the Nigerian Commission in Ghana? The Nigerian Commission in Ghana has been doing a lot, actually. Look, I've gone to Ghana. I can't remember how many times I've gone to Ghana. If you remember when we had cases of trafficking, we went to Ghana and brought back those girls. And we thank Her Excellency, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, who helped us with transportation, bus and all that. And we've been doing that on a regular basis, and it has gone down. And the people behind that have been arrested. Many Nigerians and a few Ghanaians were involved in the trafficking. It's still going on, but not as much as in the past. So we dealt with headlong. If you say kidnapping, arrest them, jail them, lock them up. Again, when I mention these things, even sometimes this tribe you're talking about, we say, is it because it's us? No, like I said, crime has no federal character. In Indonesia, we had 21 Nigerians on death row. We went to the Indonesia prison, and we spoke to them, and we begged them, and they said, our law is our law. 4 were executed, and they are still, and then 1 was saved through the intervention of Barrister Emmanuel, but they are still there. But you know what, when we went into that prison, I've said it before and I'll say it again, 21 of them, 20 were from one state in the southeast. 20. The other one was from Edo State. But at the same time, that does not mean you should generalize and say everybody in that state is a criminal. And the governor of that state has tackled the issue, even went on air and said, listen, if you do all these rituals and everything, is going to stop it. And they were attacking him. So really, it's about us as a people. If you're living there as a Nigerian and you see this happen, you have to call the person out. I particularly went, again in South Africa, I was with a guest of the authorities. We stayed in one particular place. We were there for 4 hours, and they said to me, you're going to see what will happen. And I saw what happened. I was embarrassed. But at the same time, those people have been arrested and they've been penalized. They were into drugs. I was embarrassed, actually, to see my brothers, come. I mean, I can't even describe the situation. So, and then when you say one ethnic group, there are also, in Libya, we have many that are there. They want to come back home, but we've been telling them, stop going to Libya. What are you looking for? Don't tell me you don't know that once you get to Libya, you're going to be locked up. But they are still going. There are different ethnic groups. If you go to some streets in some parts of West Africa, you will see young girls being being dragged into prostitution. So these are issues we need to deal with. However, there are the very good stories. And here's the problem. It's only the bad stories that trend. What about those thousands of Nigerians that are developing those countries? What about those thousands of Nigerians that if they leave some countries today, it will affect them? Those are the stories we celebrate. However, in the media, it's only bad news that trends and is trafficked. If in Ghana you had 10,000 people come out and say Nigerians are the best, nobody would talk about it. So I think that's just the way it is. Bad news travels fast. However, I've been saying it. The president says it. Be of good behavior. When I went to St. Lucia, the president was so impressed. The Nigerians there, even the prime minister was the first to commend them. And we're so happy about that. So there are a few bad eggs here and there, but traditional rulers, religious institutions, and that is happening in Ghana. When we went there the last time, we had a meeting with traditional rulers, community leaders, and even the Nigerians themselves within their community are saying that we will call you out, we'll deal with you. So the Nigerians themselves in those communities should ensure that nobody spoils your name, because it will affect everybody at the end of the day. And the Nigerian High Commission, I have to tell you that I don't think what you said was right, that they are not decisive. They can't do more than they're doing. They even work with the Ghanaian authorities when these people are arrested to ensure that they are penalized for what they did. So again, do not generalize. Even with one particular ethnic tribe, we cannot generalize.
How much you said there? How many people?
That yellow girl.
Okay.
That yellow girl. No, I'm not telling you the yellow girl. Wait. Those two girls now just to you. I didn't say it, right? So
he know now. Now he said both of them. How come you say they give you 3,000? Okay, I hear you.
This stuff, you don't get it. It's not from my hand. The best way to get that is so what do you want to talk?
He knows that we don't. We don't do all the investigation. We don't do everything.
I believe this is I don't see I know in and out of that area. They ask them.
You said one person 3,000 rights. Where the second one?
You know, in my place of work, I always tell people that try to defend Nigeria, because they always try to use these words like, when you talk about the criminality of Nigerians or the IGBO'S. Now, when you talk about the criminality of Nigeria, they will tell you, crime happens everywhere in the world. That is hasty generalization in order to exonerate criminality. Exonerate criminality and encourage it. Now, when you come to Igbo land, I'm an Igbo man, to say, IGBO'S are the tribes with the most criminal tendencies. You now hear them say, even Yorubas are criminals, even the Hausas or the Fulanis are violent and all those things. Hasty generalization to exonerate criminality, then encourage it. So do you know what I tell them? I always tell them, Nigeria will happen to you, and you will understand what you encourage. Now, by so saying, why I'm saying this is because this, oh Jesus, I don't know what to call him. By their face alone, you shall know them. I don't see, when people come to me and tell me, there was a Nigerian that defrauded me, and I'll tell the person, please, can you show me his picture? And when you show me the picture, I'll tell you, how would you not know that this person is a criminal just by the look? Do I have to teach everybody criminology? I think I'll start a class on criminology. But I mean, I've been telling you people a lot of things here. See, listen, as an adult, you should be able to depict a person. Even in Nigeria, Nigerian police officers can depict a criminal just by looking at him. You don't have to see him talk. I always tell people that Nigerian police officers don't stop me just by my looks. Because I don't identify. They know criminals because they're criminals too. I don't identify as a criminal. In most cases, they will start telling me, oh, you look like an Americana. They will start speaking all these accents. I haven't even spoken a word. When I tell people that the mindset of a person comes to play, see, out of the abundance of your mind, your face, speak it. Your face makes exhibition. The way you look is the way you think. When you look at this person, you see he's a criminal. Rugged, pushy, criminal face. You people don't know criminal face. Don't worry, I'll make other videos. Now, why I'm saying this is, did you see that this guy, the people he's been selling are not Ghanaians, so they are Nigerians. So you that is supporting a Nigerian because you're Nigerian, someday maybe your relative, they will sell your relative or kidnap or rape or something like that. Continue.
All right, guys. Let me start by the first video of Nigerians discussing or debating based on the High Commission of Nigeria reporting to other personalities, right? Based on the question they are being asked about the ongoing protests. How far? The question is, how far have they gone to resolve it? And what is the way forward? And if hearing from the response of the lady that was really giving back the feedback, you will see that she tried on her own part to be very frank, to be a bit realistic and truthful. But the only thing there is that they hardly come out plain to call a spade, or to say things just the way it is. But I'm glad that they got the point, which is what? Accepting the fact that Nigerians are committing crimes. You heard the man when he said they are doing too much. What is doing too much? Is it too difficult to say Nigerians are committing this crime, that crime, and all that? But the point they emphasized mainly on was hold every culprit responsible individually, not collectively. Do not label an entire nation. which I kind of see a point in that, but emphasis on how do you now tame and curtail the crime when the numbers of Nigerians are overwhelming, like in their numbers in Ghana. So how is it even easy for the government of Ghana to tackle these things? Is this not additional stress and burden for the government of Ghana? Why did they fail to even discuss on the grounds of how bad Nigerian government, Nigerian as a country, as a people are, and how to fix Nigeria? They left it. They're not talking about how they are going to fix this country and make it comfortable and convenient for everyone, so that at the end of the day, if Nigeria is crime-free, is safe, like we have rightly heard, everybody will not have the choice to always travel out, right? But their main focus is still agreeing and accepting on the fact that it is entitled to Nigerians to travel. It is obligated to Nigerians to be a burden to others. And when the host countries are saying, this is too much for us to handle, you know, catering for numbers of people under the ones you have, under the control of the ones or the handful of the one you have already, they don't think about the damage, the consequences, and the loss. In as much as everything that has advantage has disadvantage, foreigners have advantage as well as disadvantage, which is the disadvantage that Ghanaians are seeing, that it is not a minute number, but vast number of Nigerians in Ghana that are there committing these crimes. You heard it. So guys, a lot has been said, and I don't really want to dwell so much on that. I need you to, you know, reason with me, because at the end of the day, I need Nigerians to begin to reason on the grounds that we need to fix our country. We need to fix our country. We need to realize that it is not by going to other people's country, committing all these crimes, and making things or matters worse for them that is the solution to our problems as a country and as a people. The more we begin to learn this, the more we begin to understand this, the better for us. Should we wait until they say leave before we leave? And even when they say leave, you say no. And hearing from what the president released as a press statement has sparked up a lot of reactions from Ghanaians. Why? Because they feel he has not, addressed the issue the way they expect. And the security agencies and other administrative, department to handle this whole thing is to be held accountable first. I know that it's a difficult time for a leader like President Mahama to, weigh in all through all these things and come out, because it's overburdening. And I see the diplomatic way he's trying to handle this whole thing, so that at the end of the day, he doesn't hurt Nigerians, neither does he even hurt Ghanaians. But at the end of the day, Ghanaians are not happy. That is the point with the way he's, going about it. Why some are saying he has handled it the right way or the wise way, some are saying he has not handled it. So I will not be in position to dabble into what the president of Ghana has said, to condemn it, to judge it. No, I won't do that. It is left for the citizens of Ghana to accept it or give their opinion. But for me now to channel my energy on Nigerians, on our leaders, onto us holding ourselves accountable, because we are the main problem of all this wahala Ghanaians are having. Before Ghanaians started having all this problem, they've been living in peace. So it's like carrying your neighbor's children that are corrupt and rotting and be given to other people to take care of. When the matter will escalate, it will affect everybody, which is what is happening today. And Nigeria's issue is not limited to Ghana alone. It's everywhere. So if we're saying we should hold them individually, my dear, they are holding them individually. But how long is this going to continue? If they say, okay, everybody should go, you will still blame it on the Ghanaians by saying that they are xenophobic, they are haters, they are jealous, they are this. What do people want from Ghanaians? What do people want from other countries who are living their life in peace? If in the first place, Nigerians are in all this country and living peacefully, I keep asking, will there be rooms for all these things? And leaving the country, is it the solution to the problem? You people should help me and talk, because at this point, it's overwhelming. It's overburdening, to say the least. As a matter of fact, I am not in support and will never be in support of any tribe, any citizen as Nigeria committing any crime. I will fight to the end until they are brought to book and justice be served, and for Ghanaians to have their peace, because best believe Ghanaians need their peace of mind. Right? And with that being said, I will leave it here. What are your thoughts, your opinion, your input? Leave them on in the comment section. Based on what the other of my brother have said, based on the press statement of the president, what do you think? Leave it in the comments. Let's have this dialogue. Let's have this conversation. And with that, I will say we've come to the end of this episode. I will see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.